Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and what would be the incentive for traveling to the Deep Dark given how strong the Wardens are? And the simple answer to this question is there are chests, we don't know what's inside, and there are also of course skulk sensors, which are great if you're into redstone. Skulk sensors are coming in Minecraft 1.18, but what will be the reason for the Deep Dark besides skulk sensors? What if I don't care about redstone at all? That would give me absolutely no reason to go down there. I agree with you, Alejandroid, fun name by the way, and interestingly enough, King B Dogs responded to someone who said that the Warden was the only Deep Dark mob, but there were creepy sounds tweeted a while back, and he responds by saying there aren't any other mobs in the Deep Dark. That sound is something else you have to wait and see. If you don't remember from last week, it was confirmed that the Deep Dark will only have one mob that can spawn in it, the Warden. Not a single other mob in the game will naturally spawn in the Deep Dark, which was really kind of interesting, and that's why it's so interesting to think about the idea of like, oh, so there can't be another mob, something is making those noises, and King B Dog's response here is very, very mysterious. There is something else in the Deep Dark that we're gonna have to wait and see about, and that is pretty exciting because right now I feel like everyone has the Deep Dark pegged in their mind. There's this really challenging Warden, and in exchange for the Warden there's these sculpt sensors that you can mine and do something with, and then maybe there's going to be something in those chests to make it worthwhile. I'm gonna guess diamonds or something along those lines, you know, like good stuff for the day-to-day survival player, but the idea of there being something else we don't even know about yet, we can't even properly conceive about what that thing that makes the noises might be, that is very exciting, and I'm excited for it, and maybe you should be too. But in case you're not, maybe the next question should be exciting, because no, seriously, where are the banners on shields? And this is interesting because if you play Minecraft Java, this question makes no sense. Banners have been on shields since what, 2014, 2015, and on Minecraft Bedrock, shields have only been around for a few years, and there has never been a way to put banners on those shields outside of mods. And so obviously, you know, why is that the case? I immediately jump into it and I say either there's technical issues or it's the community just not really being that excited about it. I mean, think about it. Minecraft Bedrock is a different set of players. Maybe people aren't making banners that often. I can't tell you the last time I made banners in Minecraft Bedrock, but it definitely isn't a popularity thing, because one of the most popular posts on the feedback site from over 2 years ago would be, I think it would be pretty cool if you could place a custom-made banner onto shields so that shields could be easily incorporated into minigames and roleplays, as well as giving you something to do with banners. And it's interesting because, again, this is a Java parity feature. This is a real thing you can do on another version of the game, and yet it doesn't exist on Bedrock, and there's not even been a plan or a timeline for it. And it's pretty interesting because this confirms, as you can see if you look closely, you might notice it says announced under that, but then I wonder when, you know, it says it's been announced, but when? You know, there's a lot of things when it comes to Minecraft Bedrock and Minecraft Java parity where both teams are like, oh yeah, we want 100% parity, but without really like specifying timelines or you know, like you could say that Minecraft Bedrock and Minecraft Java will reach parity, and you could mean in 100 years from now, and that would mean exactly the same as if you say, yeah, they'll reach parity, and you mean next week. It really is hard to be sure when parity will happen. I imagine it's going to take a long, long time. There will always be Bedrock and Java, and that's why it's so interesting, maybe that we play Bedrock here on this channel. Maybe also you find it interesting that Evan P asks, why are these souls from Soul Speed on the Warden's stomach? And there's a simple answer to this question. It's a world-building thing, right? They are trying to add kind of these fun lore implications to Minecraft. I think the soul, you know, idea of like the Warden is eating all the souls is a great way to add to the fact that he is a terrifying mob. He literally eats souls from, you know, there is nothing else that can spawn there with him because something souls. I like the idea of Minecraft trying to build this little universe where the things like actually link into each other. I mean, you know, even small things, like if you think about the Wandering Trader and you think about the abandoned mine shafts and, you know, stuff like that, there's these fun links that the community can kind of draw. I like Mojang actually playing into that rather than just being like, yeah, here's some things, work it out yourself, and that is one of the reasons why there are souls on the Warden. The next question actually dives into this a little bit too. It's interesting because Cole Brantley can't understand why they don't just put spears in Minecraft. After all, they used spears in the 1200s to the 1800s. They used copper spears in Rome, and long story short, they're questioning why there are no spears in Minecraft, even though in the time period that Minecraft is set in, you know, of these swords and these bows and stuff, there clearly is some. So first of all, the reason is that the, you know, Minecraft isn't this perfectly realistic game. Even if you take the medieval period, which is where most of the stuff kind of fits in, right? When you think about furnaces and you think about the tools that you can actually have, even the way that you build armor in the game and the fact that there's no, you know, guns, there's gunpowder, but it's not used for anything besides rudimentary TNT. So Minecraft clearly fits into this, like, you know, like second millennium, like, you know, a couple hundred years ago minimum kind of area, but it is a fantasy game, and that's why it's so interesting interesting that, like, sometimes they're so focused on realism with updates. You know, think about how they renamed a lot of things in the game to, like, make it make more sense. Think about the way that Amethyst Geodes are super accurate to real life, but then sometimes they add super fun things that just don't make any sense. Think about Guardians. Think about the Trident being a weapon instead of the spears. And so, yeah, Minecraft is a game that I think should, ease off on the realism, because now every time there's not a feature in the game, or every time they add a feature and it's not realistic, people get a little confused. And, you know, it's the whole parrot. You know, I made a video earlier this week being very sarcastic about, like, why can't we feed cookies to parrots? Because children with parents who never look at them or talk to them or do anything with them will assume that you can feed a cookie to a parrot in real life and then it will kill some parrots. I mean, maybe that's an outside possibility, but if that's the case, then Minecraft is teaching you that you can ride a pig off a cliff and get rewarded with achievement points. Minecraft is a game that's teaching you that, hey, did you know if you go in the ocean, you'll find elder guardians that make it harder for you to punch? And it's like, there's you know, like, oh yeah, if you just like this portal, you'll go to literal hell. I think Minecraft needs to lean more into this fantasy fun thing, you know, make their own time period up, rather than leaning into, like, yeah, we should have these different things that are all historically accurate. I think if Minecraft's fantasy can line up with real things, like with Amethyst Geodes, or like with the lush caves or whatever else, that's a great idea. But I sometimes worry that some people on the Minecraft dev team, or maybe just some people, in the Minecraft communication team, are just very, very focused on realism, when fun is so much more important than realism, right? I think we should all be on board with that. Speaking of people having different priorities, to me, Agent One Shoe asks, do you have a Twitter for the questions? And I'm so confused, because when I do Q&As on Twitter, every single tweet has @IBXToycat in them, and even if you didn't see that, every single start of my video has this little banner that comes up and says @IBXToycat in the bottom left corner, because, you know, describing who I am. And even if you couldn't work out both those things, how hard is it to type IBXToycat or even just Toycat into Twitter? I think if you, well, I'm gonna Google Toycat Twitter right now. Toycat Twitter, and you know what comes up? Andrew Toycat IBX. Like, I sometimes wonder how questions like this exist. Maybe I'm thinking it through too much. Maybe instead I should go to this next comment from Mikhail Imthias, who says, I love the way Toycat jumps smoothly from comment to comment. Just damn, how do you do it? And the answer is, obviously, I pick all the questions ahead of time, and I deliberately pick the questions that I have some form of answer to, rather than, you know, and sometimes I pick the questions that are confusing, like that last one, but that's the reason that I can jump from question to question so quickly, just like how I jump from series to series quickly, you might notice on this channel. And Zared asks, when are you going to finish your hardcore LP? I've been doing a hardcore stream series, and the last part or stream series, whatever you want to call it, the last few days, the last 20 I think it is, to get to 100, it's going to be happening on Thursday, and at the end of those days, if we survive all the way, obviously it's hardcore, could die and lose everything, I intend to fight the dragon, I think for the first time ever on hardcore, and it's going to be a lot of fun, because, you know, I don't fight the dragon in a conservative way. I'm not like, oh yeah, let's be super careful. I do intend to do it a very silly way that has a lot of risks, but I think it's going to be glorious if we can pull it off. And if you want to watch on Thursday, that's how we're going to do it. Also, in case you're curious, it's not going to be finished. It's just going to be like, we'll take a break, we'll edit these streams into some form of video and see if people enjoy that. Obviously, there's some motive for me to be like, ooh, 100 days in hardcore 1.17. And if people enjoy, that 100-day video, then we can obviously do another one. And if they don't, then I might try something else as the next survival series. But yeah, Thursday, mark the date in your calendar. It's the same, it's 8 p.m. UK time or 3 p.m. New York time. Google your own time from there. You know what? Google's amazing. You can find out that Toycat has a Twitter. You can find out what time zones mean. And you could also find out when the Diamond fix came out, Lewis Allen. Unless you're me, I broke my phone Monday through Wednesday, and I checked on like a public computer if a Minecraft update had come out, because I wanted to be sure if it had, I was even going to fly home so I could make a video on it. But I literally couldn't find anything about a Minecraft update when I Googled it. I just found that Minecraft had Sonic DLC, and I was like, that's so cool, I want to play that, but I won't fly home for it. And so, yeah, I only found out about the 1.17.2 update on literally, it's embarrassing to say this, I found out about it literally on like Friday when my game updated. So if you don't know, Minecraft 1.17.2 came out on Tuesday, and it has literally one fix. And it's crazy because this update took 2 weeks to release for Bedrock. Also, they dropped the pattern of calling it 1.17.20. Now it's just called 1.17.2, so that's interesting too. But it took them 2 weeks to release one bug fix, and that should tell you how hard it is to bug fix Bedrock versus Java. Java could get, literally bug fixes done 4 times a week, but because Bedrock has to certify it and get it out there, it's a very different game, and I hope that helps understand things in the future. Just like Nikayla Gardner, I hope you understand in the future, because I released a video where I said goats are useful for breeding and then not much else until the goat horn comes out, and then I got so many comments that are like this, being like, you can milk goats, didn't you know? And it's like, oh, is that exciting? Have we got a third mob we can milk, except this mob is the least useful of all the mobs that you can milk? That's a really great one. Thank you for letting me know. It's also great because goats are notoriously so much easier to find than cows. They're easier to trap in a pen than cows. Oh wait, is that wrong? And also, they're much less useful than mushrooms. Oh no, wait, that's a lie too. I'm being sarcastic again, aren't I? Because yeah, I think lots of people, like I guess on the internet, it's very inclined to point out a small mistake, even if it doesn't detract from the point. People just love this little smug thing, and you know what? You can feel smug, my bad. I didn't mention you can milk goats in one of my videos, and I live with mistakes like this all day, every day, and I should feel bad about it. But what I shouldn't feel bad about is the last question from War Hazard Gaming. Did you eat any lobster in Maine? I ate so much lobster in Maine, I'm glad that I did. Honestly, I've been saying forever, like, if you tip me money on streams, I'm gonna use it for lobster rolls, and I ate not only some lobster rolls, not only some lobster, I don't want to crack open a shell or anything, but I had some, like, inside some buttery sauce or something, but also, I regret not doing it. I saw some lobster ice cream at the local ice cream store in Bar Harbor. I'm so sad I didn't eat lobster ice cream. I love weird flavors that like have the potential to be good. It had frozen chunks of lobster in apparently, and long story short, I'm gonna have to go back to Maine at some point now just so I can try some lobster ice cream. And speaking of things I have to go back to Maine for, this is the end of the video, and that is the main thing that I had to say at the end here. I'm very excited for the Warden overall. I think 1.18 is going to be an exciting update for like, even just seeing the snapshots. Like it's going to be interesting to see like how resistant the Warden is really going to be. And again, we're going to hear more about that in the future. And in general, I feel like the Warden is the big star of 1.18. But I have a question for you, comment section. Do you feel like there is going to be something else about this update that is better than the Warden or the Deep Dark to you? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any questions, you don't even have to type Q&A. Just put a question mark at the end of your comment, and then it shows up when I search for comments. So yeah, I look forward to seeing your questions for next week. Thank you for watching Q&A Saturday, but on a Sunday. Thank you for the patience with all the weird things that have been happening with videos. I've been trying to get things back on my feet, and I appreciate your love and affection, and even just those of you watching the videos or hitting the like button. Thank you for that, because I'll see you all tomorrow for Let's Play Monday, unless I die in a house fire, which I might do because I'm not subscribed to my own channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye.